exhausted mom who feels like you cannot keep up with everything that you have to do at home. Your to-do list just keeps piling up and piling up, and you're just so overwhelmed, then today's video is for you. Hey, I'm Tessa. I'm not a therapist. I'm just a girl who started a journal at one of the lowest points in my life and ended up keeping that journal for now 18 years. And over the course of those 18 years, I learned so much about hardships and life and God and how we don't need to be scared of our hardships, and we also shouldn't be coping with them either. We should actually be using them as the very things that help us become like the most happiest, fulfilled version of ourselves. So long story short, now people actually send me their journals. I get journals for all kinds of things, big and small, and everything in between. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing somebody's journal and then my response to it. So let's do it. Okay, so for today's journal, it says, I tried cleaning today, but it feels like I'm bailing water out of a sinking ship with a teaspoon. No matter how much I do it, it's never enough. There's always something dirty, something out of place. I just want to live in a space where I can breathe. I don't even need it to be perfect. I just need to feel like I'm not constantly behind. I'm sure that at least some of you can relate to this. So in this next part, I'm going to respond to this journal using the Fortitude Framework. Let's go. Thank you so much for your journal again. Oh my goodness, relatable, relatable, relatable. Like, oh geez, there's always so much to do, and it is so crazy. So applying the framework, right, is so the unbiased reality is that, yeah, like you're always going to eat. So there's always going to be dishes. You're always going to go to the bathrooms. You're always going to have things like there are just always things. You're always going to wear clothes. So you're just going to have to always do laundry. Like there is this, the unbiased reality is that there will always be things to clean. Like that's just the reality, right? And I love how you were like, I just like feel like I can never get ahead. Like I just am so sick of feeling like I'm behind it. It doesn't even have to be perfect, but I just don't want to feel behind all the time. And I love that you mentioned that because to me, it's like it's that point of hopelessness, right? Where this week you're learning this is all the stuff that's real and this is okay to mourn and just be like, oh yeah, this is real. This is always going to be a part of life. But then realizing, well, I don't have to always feel like I'm behind, and I don't have to like always be drowning. So then it's like, okay, well then let's run to the framework. Like that's one of the things you learn from this lesson is like a siren should be going off in your brain, like run to the framework, run to the framework as soon as you start to feel the hopelessness about the reality, if that makes sense. So the fortitude framework for this specific thing could be, okay, well, let me have a hopeful curiosity of if this is real, rather than trying to fight, like, can everyone just stop making dishes? Can everyone just stop eating? Can everyone just stop wearing clothes? Whereas that's just going to keep you stuck, keep you frustrated, trying to change the things you can't change, right? So now let's have hopeful curiosity of like, okay, well, how could, if none of these things changed, right? If the dishes are always gonna be there, clothes are always going to be a thing. All this is always going to be a thing. What is like the hopeful curiosity of like, what could I change? What are the systems that or the routines or, the shared responsibility that I can create in my home where I'm not always drowning? These things are always a thing, but I'm not drowning anymore. And so that's where like gift comes in is I'm going to embrace and I'm going to have hopeful curiosity of like, and then I'm also going to be thinking, what else could I do to get what I want of not feeling like I'm drowning? That's what we're trying to solve here. And sorry that my voice is kind of gone, but yeah, so one thing that I was, just thinking is, looking at your family, that you're looking at your dynamics, like, do you have kids that are old enough to take on more responsibility than they have so far? That's like one question I have. That's like, again, that's like a hopeful curiosity, just a question, just thinking, brainstorming, right? Like that's all within gift. Otherwise, then it's like, there are systems you could have where, because again, if I love the line that you had in your journal of, I don't even care if it's perfect. I just don't want to always feel like I'm drowning or behind, So well, like, what if we create a system where you're never behind, right? Like, what if we, and by the way, you could even have ChatGPT help you with this. If you're like, I need a system where I'm not feeling so overwhelmed all the time, every day, but to like break up the responsibilities that I have in my home. So, where you could have like, I have a day where that is the day where I clean all the bathrooms. I only clean bathrooms. I don't really worry about laundry or anything else on that day. Or you could have like a day where it's like, this is the day where I do all the floors. Like I sweep and mop all the floors, I vacuum all the carpets. That's like the day I do that. Or you could even do things in the morning. Like in the morning, that's the time when I clean, I make sure that my bedroom is clean and all the other rooms clean. At night, that is the time when I'm doing dishes and counters. And then just like make sure that like you're not trying to do everything all the day, all the time, or like waiting till something's like dirty and be like, okay, now I need to clean that. Waiting till it's now I clean that. Because sometimes you are going to feel like totally overwhelmed if you're just waiting for something to be like dirty to then feel like, of course, it's going to could perpetuate that feeling of always trying to catch up, you know? So instead, if you have systems of at night, that's when I do dishes. In the morning, that's when I do that day's task. So maybe Tuesday mornings, you always do floors. Wednesday mornings, you always do this person's laundry. You can even break it up like that. Sorry. Rather than just everybody's laundry, maybe it could be like, I do this person's laundry on Wednesdays in the morning. Nights are totally reserved for the kitchen. When I know I'm gonna have lots of dishes and all of that, that's when I do all those things. Because then what's gonna be awesome about this is you're gonna get what you want, just like that. Because what you said is, I don't care if it's perfect, I just don't want to feel like I'm behind all the time. You're not gonna be behind. Because when you do that day's task or that morning's task, I put this person's laundry in the wash. Celebrate it. Be like, I am killing it. I am on top of it. Let me watch me go, watch me go. And you're going to celebrate it. And then you are going to do the other things and you're not going to worry about it because now you have a system. Now you have a schedule. You know that everything is getting done on the days they need to get done. And then we're not stressing about the rest because it's now built in. I'm like, no, I have a day when I'm doing carpets. And so again, hopeful curiosity is when you like the internal honesty, just again to like summarize everything as far as like the gift shift lift and the framework goes. So internal honesty, that's when we recognize what are my fears? Where is my hopelessness? Am I really worried that we have dishes all the time? Or am I more worried that I just feel behind all the time? What's my fear? That's internal honesty. Gift, which is like hopeful curiosity, embracing, brainstorming. That's when I start to embrace, okay, these are all the things I can't change. I'm going to embrace them. I can't change them. So I'm going to embrace, yes, there will be dishes. Yes, there will be clothes. Yes, yes, yes. These things will be a part of my life. And I'm not going to be frustrated that people are eating off of dishes anymore because that's me doing that. It's keeping me stuck in frustration. And so then we're just gonna embrace that. Then we're gonna have hopeful curiosity. Okay, what can I change? Let me brainstorm, let me think of different things. That's all gift. Shift is when you pick something that works for you, right? That's when, maybe you get on ChatGPT and you find a plan that works for you, or maybe you know that in your specific house, the floor gets dirty more often. So you want 2 days for that or 3 days for that. And you find a system that works. Shift is when you do it. And then lift, now that's when you celebrate what you're doing and you're like, oh, whoa, like this works. I'm excited about this. I feel excited about myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm building my confidence and my house feels more in order. And now, like, what else can I do this with? Like, what other things am I frustrated about that maybe I need to have internal honesty and find the fear, find the hopelessness, embrace what I can't change, take ownership and shift the things I can, and then lift. We just keep repeating this, repeat, repeat, repeat. You lift, 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 lift. So anyway, hope that helps. And I'm excited to hear back on what system you end up finding and what works for you.